Let us see the classification of nutraceuticals under the module Nutraceuticals, which is a part of the video lecture series in Pharmacognosy by Edify-City. In the present lecture, we will be seeing what are the different methods and what are the different approaches of classifying nutraceuticals. Before that, we need to understand that classification is a means of the systematic arrangement of large varieties or quantities of things into smaller groups on the basis of some similar characters present in them. Now, what does it mean by that? Here we are sorting out the elements according to our requirements and according to our prerequisites. It doesn't mean single method of classification would be the final verdict. There might be different approaches for the same thing as per the requirements and the needs of the doer. Another important thing in this regard is that whatever method of classification we are employing should be simple and it should be easy to use, approachable, and it should be free from confusion and ambiguities. Now let us see what method do we adopt for the classification of nutraceuticals. Now there are basically three approaches, three types of classifications. It doesn't mean that any one of them encompasses every mode of sorting out the nutraceuticals. Rather, there are different aspects and we will be needing every type of classification when we are studying nutraceuticals. Now, one approach is based on sources and another is based on the chemical nature, and the third one is pharmacological action. The sources are further classified as plant sources, animal sources, and microbes for the nutraceutical procurement. Another mode of classifying nutraceuticals based on their sources is the natural or the traditional sources and the artificial or the non-traditional sources. Let us see what are the natural or traditional sources. These natural or traditional sources are further classified as chemical constituents from the natural sources, probiotic microorganisms from the natural sources, and nutraceutical enzymes from the natural sources. And here we see under the artificial nutraceuticals, that is the source is artificial or non-traditional, that is the fortified nutraceuticals, that we have enriched them or enhanced the nutraceuticals, enhanced the food products by adding certain specific ingredients. And another method is recombinant nutraceuticals. Then we have further, when we go, the chemical constituents are further classified as nutrients, herbals, and phytochemicals. So, summing it up, when you move on, this is for the understanding, but when you will be writing in the exam, under the sources, you will enumerate all the methods, that is the plants, animals, microbes, the natural method, and the artificial method of classifying nutraceuticals. Let us see one by one in detail. The traditional nutraceuticals or the natural nutraceuticals are simply with no changes to the food, that the food contains several natural components that deliver benefits beyond basic nutrition, such as, for example, lycopene in tomatoes, omega-3 fatty acids in fishes, or saponins in soy. So there are not any special enhancements or artificial additions in nutraceuticals coming from the natural sources. Like for example, from plants, we have carotenoids, flavonoid polyphenolics, non-flavonoid polyphenolics, phenolic acids, isothiocyanates. We'll be seeing this in detail when we will be covering the nutraceuticals from the traditional or natural sources. Now coming to the sources of nutraceuticals as animals, we see here that the different sources are the dairy products, fish, meat, eggs, and other miscellaneous animal foods. Now under dairy products, there might be milk as a source or fermented dairy products, whey proteins, and other elements. The active components from these dairy products are calcium, probiotics, and proteins. And we have omega-3 fatty acids from fish and conjugated linoleic acid from beef and lamb meat. And the eggs contain important nutraceuticals, sphingolipids, lecithin, choline, and the same omega-3 fatty acids in a lesser quantity, but eggs do contain the omega-3 fatty acids. And the animal foods other from that, the miscellaneous are the L-carnitine, coenzyme Q10, A-lipoic acid and taurine. Now coming to the microorganisms, we will be again seeing in detail under the microbes coming from the traditional sources, that are the Lactobacillus, Streptococcus, Saccharomyces. For your convenience, this is an easy method of remembering the different nutraceutical elements, the active components from the animal sources. Now we move on further. The same method of classification of nutraceuticals based on sources, but in a different approach. One approach was classifying the sources based on plants, animals and microbes, and another approach is classifying them broadly under natural and artificial sources. Now coming to the natural sources, as you have already seen, they are classified as chemical constituents, probiotic microorganisms and nutraceutical enzymes. So coming to the chemical constituents, they are further classified as nutrients, herbals and phytochemicals. That is, these are the different type of chemical constituents from natural sources. Now we see here under nutrients that these substances such as vitamins, minerals, amino acids and fatty acids with established nutritional functions. Now most of the vegetables, whole grain cereals, dairy products, fruits and even animal products such as meat and poultry contain vitamins, and they are helpful in curing heart diseases, strokes, cataracts, osteoporosis, diabetes and cancer. Now the minerals found in plant, animal and dairy products are useful in osteoporosis and anemia. They build strong bones and teeth and muscles, and they are very instrumental in the improvement of nerve impulses and heart rhythm. Like for example, the flaxseed and salmon, they contain fatty acids, the omega-3 polyunsaturated fatty acids, and they are potent controllers of the inflammatory processes, maintenance of brain function and reduce cholesterol deposition. Now the next thing we see here is the herbals. Now the nutraceuticals, they hold a great promise to improve health and prevent chronic diseases with the help of herbs. Like some examples are willow bark, that is Salix nigra. It has having an active component as salicin, which is anti-inflammatory, analgesic, antipyretic, astringent and anti-arthritic. Now parsley, as we know, it's a very famous herb. It contains flavonoids such as apiol and soralin, and they promote diuretic, carminative and antipyretic activity. And peppermint, we all know Mentha peperata, it contains methanol as an active component which is helpful in curing colds and flu. And lavender contains tannins which are helpful in curing depression, hypertension, stress, cold, cough and asthma. And we see cranberries and all the different berries such as strawberry, blueberry, blackberry. These are very potent antioxidant containing fruits, such as in this case, cite an example, it's proanthocyanidin, and are found to be useful in cancer, ulcers and urinary tract infections. Now the third category under the chemical constituents from natural sources is phytochemicals. The phytochemicals constitute a class of nutraceuticals coming from the natural sources. Now they are classified on the basis of the chemical name given according to their phytochemical properties. For example, carotenoids coming from isoprenoids, as we have already seen previously, terpenoids as we call them. They are found in various fruits, vegetables and egg yolk, and they are anti-carcinogenic, and they also boost the natural killer immune cells and protect cornea against UV light. The legumes such as chickpeas and soybeans, grains and palm oil contain non-carotenoids which remove cholesterol and are anti-carcinogenic. You can observe one thing here, that here we are considering the phytochemicals and the chemical constituents coming from the plant sources as well as the animal sources. So there are different approaches. Like previously we had seen that the plant, animal and microorganism sources were segregated. Here we are not segregating based on that element. Rather, we are considering a whole and sole chemical entity and the chemical nature of the nutraceuticals. Another example you can see flavonoids. They are the polyphenolics which are found in berries, fruits, vegetables and legumes. And they are potent antioxidants and phytoestrogens. They prevent breast cancer, prostate cancer and they control diabetes. Subsequently, we can see non-flavonoid polyphenolics also, which are present in dark grapes, raisins, berries, peanuts and turmeric roots. They are also strong anti-inflammatory and antioxidant, and they are effective anti-clotting agents and reduce cholesterol. The phenolic acids found in blueberries, tomatoes and bell peppers having antioxidant activity reduce mutagenicity of polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons. Now, for example, the seeds of Barbaria verna, broccoli, contain isothiocyanates, that is, glucosinolates, and have anti-tumorigenesis activity. So there is a long list of phytochemicals which serve as nutraceuticals. But as a student of pharmacy, we should know which nutraceutical falls into which category. And we know, we have already discussed, that the classification helps us in the procurement and understanding the basic properties and the various methods of extraction, isolation of nutraceuticals or any other chemical entity when we come to know its background. We will stop here and we will be discussing the different types of further classifications in the coming video lectures. Thank you very much.